Thank you very much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong and welcome to Pointless, the show that makes big winners out of the lowest scorers. Let's meet today's players. And couple number one.
Hello, I'm Alan and this is Joy, my wife of 46 years, and we reside in Leighton Buzzard.
Couple number two.
Hi, I'm Bartholomew. This is my mum, Sandra, and we are from Stratford-upon-Avon.
Couple number three.
This is Sharon, I'm Alan, and we're golf buddies from Staffordshire.
And finally, couple number four.
Hi, I'm Rob. This is Kerry. We're husband and wife from Solihull.
And these are today's contestants. Thanks, all of you. We'll get to know more about you throughout the show as it goes along, so that just leaves one more person for me to introduce. He is the next big thing on the UK hip-hop scene and South England's rap battle champion 4 years running. His rhymes be ill blood. He's my pointless friend. He's Richard.
Hiya. Hi, everybody. Hiya. There's a lot of truth in that. Good afternoon to you.
And to you.
Now, you'll have noticed what I've noticed,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
We've had an awful lot of Allens lately.
Yeah, I know.
We've been really, really Allen heavy, haven't we?
Yeah.
Like a surfeit of Allens. I'm worried, as you will be, that there's an Allen shortage somewhere else in the country because we've got so many of them.
Honestly, yeah.
So
Apparently.
if, say, you're living in the Bristol area or something and there's not enough Allens, we apologise. Hopefully after today, we're not going to have more after
they're bringing
today.
Allens up from Devon. There's a surfeit of Allens there. Luckily.
You're kidding, so they're bussing them in?
Up the M5, yeah.
That's a lot of Allens. Also,
Yeah.
the other thing to note
Tell me.
is I think maybe Bartholomew is the longest name we've ever had on the show, because that's the smallest font we've ever had on a name tag. I'm certain. Now, Sandra, Bartholomew is your son, of course.
Yes.
Did you not think of a nice name like, say, Alan?
Never crossed my mind, funnily enough.
Wow. Thank you very much indeed, Rich. Now, as usual, all of today's questions have been asked to 100 people before the show. All our contestants have to do is hunt out those important, pointless answers, the answers no one else has given. And each time that happens, we will add £250 to the jackpot. Now, Mairead and Finton won the jackpot last time, so today's jackpot starts off back at £1,000. Right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. OK, now, the pair with the highest score at the end of the round will be eliminated, and do remember there is to be no conferring during the round itself. OK, our first category today is pop music. Pop music. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and the question concerns #1 singles of the 90s. #1 singles of the 90s.
We are going to show you 7 #1 singles of the 90s on each pass. You just need to tell us the act that had a #1 single with each of these, please. It's going to be 14-0 to have a go at home, so very, very best of luck.
Thanks very much indeed. So we are looking for the artists who reached #1 with these songs in the years shown, and here is our first board of 7. The Shoop Shoop song, It's in His Kiss, 1991. Dreams, 1993. Setting Sun, 1996. The Drugs Don't Work, 1997. You Are Not Alone, 1995. The One and Only, 1991. And The Most Beautiful Girl in the World, 1994. I'll read those all one last time. The Shoop Shoop song, It's in His Kiss, 1991. Dreams, 1993. Setting Sun, 1996. The Drugs Don't Work, 1997. You Are Not Alone, 1995. The One and Only, 1991. And The Most Beautiful Girl in the World, 1994. Now then. Alan P. and Joy, you all drew lots before the show, and today you are going to go first. Welcome back, Alan. So what happened last time?
We got to the head-to-head.
It was great.
Yeah, and we were undone by the president of Argentina.
Yes, Cristina Fernandez de Kirchner. There we are.
Yeah.
Well, we'll remember that now. And what do you get up to in Leighton Buzzard?
Play a lot of golf. Started playing bowls now.
What kind of bowls do you do?
We just started. It's lawn bowls in the summer, and in the winter it's indoors and short mats.
Short mat, OK. Very good.
Which is nice, because it's indoors.
Very nice. And now, Alan, what about all these songs from the 90s? #1 songs from the 90s. How are we feeling about those?
If it was the 1890s, I might stand a chance. But the Shoop Shoop song, I've got an idea of somebody called Cher.
Cher, says Alan. Let's see if that's right for the Shoop Shoop song. Let's see how many of our 100 people also said Cher. '76.
Yeah, her first #1 single as a solo artist, that was. She's also the only female artist in history to have American #1s in the 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s. That's pretty good going, isn't it?
That is good going. Thanks, Richard. Now, Bartholomew, welcome.
Hi.
So, Bartholomew, what do you do?
I'm a student at Leeds University,
What are you studying?
economics and history.
Which of the two of those do you like the best?
Can't-
Imagining none of your tutors are watching. Go on.
History. History. Yeah.
Oh, bad luck.
Oh,
economics.
your tutors are watching. What's the name of whoever's in charge of the economics course?
What do you mean you don't know? Maybe that's something to do with the fact that you prefer history.
Maybe.
Yeah, OK. Now, what about the 90s, Bartholomew? Do you remember them at all?
Absolute nightmare around.
Did you? Oh, right. I thought you were saying they were a nightmare.
Oh, no.
The 90s. God, don't bring them up again. Oh. Do you remember any of these? I mean, do you know any of these?
One or two ring a bell.
What year were you born, Bartholomew?
95.
Just as he said that, I could hear my bones creak. 95. Wow. OK, now then, Bartholomew. OK. What are you thinking?
The one that rings a bell, I've got 3 or 4 racks in my mind who it could be, but I'm going to go The Drugs Don't Work, The Verve.
The verve,
Yeah.
says Bartholomew. The verve, that the drugs don't work. Well, let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said the verve. It's right. It's right. 41. Very well done, Bartholomew. For a horrible moment, I thought that was just Richard Ashcroft on his own, but it wasn't.
It wasn't. It was the Verve. Yeah, absolutely. It's from the album Urban Hymns, and that's the 17th best-selling album in UK history.
Thanks, Richard. Now then, Sharon, welcome to Pointless. Good to have you here. What do you do, Sharon?
I'm a retired police officer
How long have you been retired?
since June.
Are you missing it?
No, not really.
OK, and you're playing quite a lot of golf?
Yes, quite badly, though.
OK. How long have you been playing golf for?
Oh, only 12 months or so.
Oh, I see. Well, that's a nice thing to take up, though. Very good. Now then, Sharon, what are you going to go for on this?
I don't think it's right, but I'm going to have to go with the only one that is a possibility. You Are Not Alone, Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson. Yeah, I was thinking it was that. But let's see. Is that right, Michael Jackson, for You Are Not Alone? It is right. Very well done, Sharon. Well, 76 our high score, you passed that. 41 our low score, you passed that. 23. 23. You were in fact not alone in thinking that that was possibly not by Michael Jackson. Only 23 people said it.
That's 3 answers in a row, though, where people haven't been sure and have said, oh, I'm going to have to go for it, and they've all been correct. Interestingly, he had debts of $500 million before his death, and in the year after his death, his estate amassed $1 billion. Isn't that amazing?
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. So, Kerry.
Hi.
Kerry, hi. Welcome to the show. Great to have you here. What do you do?
I'm a music teacher.
What sort of music do you teach?
Well, it's preschool music, so it's under 4 years old.
Oh, that's fun.
It is.
And how did you and Rob meet?
Well, I used to be a dance teacher, and Rob came to me for lessons.
You were his teacher,
I was.
and then how long before you got married? How many years later?
About a year.
And so
Not long.
your first dance must have been amazing.
You'd think, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
No, not really.
OK. Now, Kerry, you're the last person to have this board. Do you want to fill in all the blanks for us?
Dreams, I think, was Gabrielle. Setting Sun doesn't ring any bells at all. The one and only is Chesney Hawkes. And the most beautiful girl in the world, I think, was Prince. It's just trying to work out which is the lowest score. I think I'm going to go with the most beautiful girl in the world, Prince.
The most beautiful girl in the world, Prince, says Kerry. Rob, what do you think?
I probably would have gone with Dreams, but we'll see. She knows
OK.
more than I do.
OK, well, let's see if Prince is right. And if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said Prince. He's right. $13, the best score of the whole class. Very well done, Kerry.
Well played, Kerry. Prince had 42 top 40 hits, and that was his only number 1.
Is it really?
Yeah, so very, very good answer in a pub quiz, that. Now, Rob, you're right to trust Kerry, because she did go for the right one there, because Dreams would have scored a bit more. It was Gabrielle, would have scored 20, though. The one and only was Chesney Hawkes. I didn't think that was 90s. I would have said 80s if you'd pushed me. It scored 47 points. It's a big scorer. And the best answer on the board, Setting Sun, is by the Chemical Brothers. Well done if you said that, would have scored you 6 points.
Very good. Thanks very much, Richard. Well, we're halfway through the round. Let's check on those scores. 13, the best score of that pass. Very well done, Kerry. That puts you and Rob in a commanding position at this point. Then up to 23, Sharon and Alan. Up to 41, Bartholomew and Sandra. Then up to 76, Alan and Joy. Well, Alan, you did very well there, finding one. Joy, good luck. We're going to come back down the line now. Can the second players please step up to the podium? OK, we're going to put 7 more #1 singles from the 90s up on the board, and here they come. Mr. Vane, 1993. Back for Good, 1995. The Power, 1990. Deeply Dippy, 1992. If You Tolerate This, Your Children Will Be Next, 1998. Two Become One, 1996. And Let Me Be Your Fantasy, 1994. I'll read those one more time. Mr. Vane, 1993. Back for Good, 1995. The Power, 1990. Deeply Dippy, 1992. If You Tolerate This, Your Children Will Be Next, 1998. Two Become One, 1996. And Let Me Be Your Fantasy, 1994. Now, remember, we are looking for the artists who reached #1 with these hits in the 90s. Rob, you're going to try and continue Kerry's nice low-scoring run and find the fewest of our 100 people knew. Rob, what do you do?
I'm a process engineer at a premium car manufacturer.
Oh, that's fun. What's the actual bit that you're in charge of?
It's working with our product development team to try and actually be able to build the vehicles in our existing body shops.
Have you developed an invisible one yet, Rob?
Unfortunately, I don't work for that premium car manufacturer.
A flying one?
I want to.
Oh, that'd be fun, wouldn't it? A flying car?
Yeah, it'd be good. That'd be like an aeroplane, wouldn't it?
An aeroplane would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. OK. Very good. Now then, where are you going to go?
I recognise a few, but because of Kerry's good first round, I'm going to try and go for one that probably should never have been a #1. Deeply Dippy, which I think was Right Said Fred.
Deeply Dippy. OK, well, let's find out if that is by Right Said Fred. There's your red line. If you get below that, you're through to the next round. Right Said Fred, said Rob. Let's see how many of our 100 said Right Said Fred. It's right. There we are, you're through. That did exactly what it needed to do. Not a lot more. 47 takes your total up to 60, Rob.
Well played, Rob. That was their only #1 as well, because I'm Too Sexy was kept off #1 by Bryan Adams.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. Now then, Alan. Alan S., welcome to the show. What do you do, Alan?
I'm an engineer. I work for a Swedish furniture company.
I wonder, oh, God, there are so many. I wonder which one that must be.
That is less cryptic than most of the time.
Yeah.
People say a major high street retailer.
Oh, yeah. What other jobs have you had, Alan?
Semi-pro football manager, I used to be.
Wow. That's fun. Where did you do that?
A few clubs, hometown club, Kidsgrove, Newcastle Town.
Newcastle Town. Yeah. When did you stop doing that?
I stopped doing it when they sacked me.
Good stuff. OK, well, listen, there you are. You're on 23. The high scorers are still Joy and Alan on 76. 52 or less will get you through.
Unfortunately, my mind's gone. And Let Me Be Your Fantasy Oasis, I haven't got a clue.
Let Me Be Your Fancy is by Oasis, says Alan. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said it. There's your red line. Maybe you might get below that. Let's find out. Bad luck, bad luck. Game attempt, but I'm afraid an incorrect answer scores you 100 points, takes your total up to 123. The round is not over yet, though, Alan. We'll see what happens. You may still get through.
Yeah, sorry, Alan, I'll give you the correct answer to that one at the end of the pass, but worth a guess.
Thanks, Richard. Now, Sandra, welcome.
Hello.
Good to have you here. What do you do, Sandra?
I'm an aromatherapist and reflexologist.
Wow. Oh, that's nice. And what do you do in your spare time, Sandra?
Well, I sing. I've been in a couple of different choirs, and I also am involved in Amdram as well.
Very good. You're on 41. The high scorers are Alan and Sharon at the moment on 123, so 81 or less sees you through. I think you're going to be fine here.
I have absolutely no idea on any of them. So, for Back for Good, Robbie Williams. I know it's wrong, but it's a guess.
OK, well, you're going to say Robbie Williams. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. There's your red line. If you get below it, you are through to the next round. Oh, bad luck. It is incorrect, and that scores you 100 points, takes your total up to 141. But Richard will tell you at the end of the round who did actually sing that. You'll be interested to know, I think.
I will do exactly that.
Yeah. Now then, Joy. Joy, right. Now, this is important. That board behind me is remarkably untroubled by quite a few answers in this round. So listen, you're on 76. The high scorers are behind you, Sandra and Bartholomew on 141. If you can score 64 or less, you're through to the next round.
That's the good news. The bad news is I don't recognise any of them. My son would have a whole raft of names of groups to go for the 1990s. So I shall have to go for The Power by The Charlatans.
Good band.
Good band. I just don't think they go with The Power.
OK, I'm very impressed by that, though. The Charlatans, there's your red line. Get below that, you're through to the second round. Let's see if the Charlatans sang The Power. Oh, Joy, I'm sorry. I'm afraid they didn't. That scores you 100 points, takes your total up to an unbeatable 176.
Yeah, sorry, Joy, but you gave us the pleasure of seeing you say The Charlatans, which genuinely surprised us.
Yeah.
And we get to release one more Alan back into the community.
Yeah.
That is, it's good for the country, isn't it? It's good for the country.
Keep the numbers in.
Back for good, not Robbie Williams, but you're not a million miles away. Let's take that. 64 points for that. Let Me Be Your Fantasy. That's not Oasis. Do you remember that?
I don't remember. I remember the song.
Baby D.
Baby D.
Baby D would have scored you 10 points. And The Power, it's not The Charlatans, should have been.
Snap.
Snap, exactly right. 18 points. Now, the other three. If you tolerate this, your children will be next.
Manic Street Preachers.
Manic Street Preachers, 36 points for that. Two Become One.
Spice Girls.
Spice Girls, yes. Would have scored you 65. Very big score of that. In fact, the biggest scorer on the board. And the best scorer on the board, Mr. Vane.
I remember the song.
They were very much the charlatans of their time. They were Culture Beat. Culture Beat, and they would have scored you 4 points. Very well done if you said that.
There we go, Culture Beat. Thanks very much indeed, Richard. Well, we've got to the end of the first round, but I'm sorry to say our returning pair, Joy and Alan, I'm sorry. That second board was really tricky there, Joy. Might you have got any of those, do you think, in a million years?
The Spice Girls, but it wasn't enough, was it?
No.
Yeah.
Well, I'm afraid we have to say goodbye. It's been lovely having you on the show. Thank you so much for playing, Joy and Alan. But for the remaining three pairs, it's now time for round two. And so three pairs remain. And obviously at the end of this round, we'll be saying goodbye to another pair in time for our head-to-head round. Well, Rob and Kerry, very well done. Great answers from you. Nice low scores. And then Alan and Sharon, whew. You owe Sandra and Bartholomew one because they saved your bacon. Oh, and Sandra and Bartholomew, you owe Alan and Joy one because they saved your bacon. So very well done. Anyway, it's going to be a new round and a new category. Best of luck to all three pairs. Our category for round two is classic literature. Classic literature. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and the question concerns eponymous novels. Eponymous novels, Richard.
In a moment, we're going to show you the names of authors. We're looking for any novel or children's novel by any of these authors that contains a person's name anywhere in its title, please. Very best of luck.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. So we want a novel written by any of these authors which has a character's name in the title. Daniel Defoe, George Eliot, Roald Dahl, the Bronte sisters. There we go. Now, Bartholomew, we come to you first.
Another tough one.
It is a tough one.
Trying to avoid the obvious. The Twits.
The Twits, says Bartholomew. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said the Twits. Absolutely right. Good answer, 12. Well done. Well played.
Well played, Bartholomew. Yeah, the Twits, of course, being the surname of the characters.
Thank you. Sharon.
Hello.
How are you feeling about this?
I do read a lot, but not those sort of books, really. I'm going to go for one that I think is quite obvious, so will be quite high scoring. I'm going to go for Matilda.
Matilda. Matilda, says Sharon. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Matilda. $41 for Matilda.
Yeah, of course, also recently came out as a musical in the West End by Tim Minchin.
Thanks, Richard. Now, Rob.
Well, I wish I'd paid a bit more attention to reading the books to my son that I do. But I think I'm going to go with Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator.
Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator. Very well done, Rob. I see what you've done there. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said it. Well, 41 our high score, 12 our low. You passed 41. You passed 12. Very well done indeed, Rob. That's a great answer. 7. Some great scoring over there on the far podium. Well, you wouldn't get stuck in a glass elevator, would you?
It's better than getting stuck in a non-glass elevator. I often think that because I don't like being in lifts. But I think if it's a glass one, at least I can see outside. It doesn't scare me so much.
Yeah, maybe.
It's not quite like being in a steel box, is it?
Yeah, I suppose. Thanks very much, Richard. Well, we're halfway through the round. Let's take a look at those scores. Very well done, Rob. Best score of the round so far was yours, 7. Then up to 12, where we find Bartholomew and Sandra. Then up to 41, where we find Sharon and Alan. So, Alan, a good answer from you is what we need in the next pass, Alan. So try and find a nice low score. We're going to come back down the line now. Can the second players please step up to the podium? OK, now, Kerry. We need a novel with someone's name in the title. You're on 7. The high scorers are Alan and Sharon on 41, so 33 or less sees you through.
Well, I really feel like I should know a George Eliot novel, but I so don't. And we've got the whole collection of Roald Dahl at home for our little boy, and I can think of 2. One of them, Rob has already said. So I'm going to go for Danny, Champion of the World. Danny, Champion of the World, says Kerry. OK. There's your red line. If you get below that, you are into the head-to-head. Let's see if Danny, Champion of the World is right. Let's see how many people said it. It is right. Well done, you're through. Wow, 5. 5 takes your total up to 12.
Well played, Kerry. Yeah, 2 good answers now in 2 questions. I think that would have been my answer, Danny, the Champion of the World.
Alan.
Yes, well, we need a good answer, don't we? So, I think I just don't want to get another 100, so I'm going to go for Robinson Crusoe.
Robinson Crusoe, says Alan. There we are. Nice to have a Defoe in there. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. There's no red line for you as you're the highest scorers. There we are, is right. 29. 29 takes your total up to 70. There we are.
First published in 1719. Daniel Defoe was originally called Daniel Foe. He added the D because he thought it made him sound posher. So to increase his social standing.
Thank you, Richard. Now, Sandra, you're on 12. You have to score 57 or less. This is going to be a dog. I must stop saying that to you. I keep saying it. It's never right.
Yeah, look what
but
happened last time.
I think you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Talk us through your thinking.
I enjoy reading the Bronte novels, so there's the obvious one, but I'm not going for that. I'm going to go for Shirley.
Shirley. There's your red line. Get below that with Shirley. You're through to the next round. Let's see if it's right. Let's see how many people said it. It is right. You're in the head-to-head. Very well done, Sandra. 2. That is a great score, Sandra. 14. Very well done.
Yeah, by Charlotte Bronte, of course. Let's take a look at some of the pointless answers. There's 6 pointless answers in this round. Well done if you got any of these. Captain Singleton, which is a Daniel Defoe novel. Felix Holt the Radical, that's George Eliot. My Uncle Oswald, that's an adult novel by Roald Dahl. Would have been a pointless answer. Well done if you said that. And all of these are Daniel Defoe. The Farther Adventures of Robinson Crusoe would have been a very good answer, wouldn't it? The Four Voyages of Captain George Roberts and The Serious Reflections of Robinson Crusoe.
Thank you very much, Richard. Well, at the end of our second round, the pair heading home with their score of 70, I'm sorry to say it's Alan and Sharon. Well, you've done very well. You're through to the second round. We'll see you again next time. I look forward to that very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alan. Thanks, Sharon.
Thank you.
But for the remaining 2 pairs, it's now time for the head-to-head. Congratulations, Kerry and Rob, Sandra and Bartholomew. You are now 1 step closer to the final and a chance to play for our jackpot, which currently stands at £1,000. Now, we have to decide who's going to go through to the final and play for that money. And to do that, you are now going to go head-to-head. The difference is you're now allowed to confer before you give your answers, and the first pair to win 2 questions will be playing for that jackpot. Best of luck to both pairs. Let's play it. OK, here comes your first question, and it concerns brothers. Brothers, Richard.
We're going to show you 5 pictures of famous brothers now. We need you to tell us their surnames, please.
OK, let's reveal our 5 sets of brothers, and here they come. We've got A, B, C, D, and E. There we are. 5 sets of brothers. Kerry and Rob, you played best throughout the show so far, so you will go first.
I don't know A, and I don't know E. C is the guy that was in that film we went to see with my dad. What's his name? Bridges. Go for that one, I think.
Struggling a little bit. We're going to go for the one that we think is the lowest, which is C, the Bridges brothers.
Bridges, say Kerry and Rob. Bridges. Now, Sandra and Bartholomew. Do you want to talk us through the rest of the board?
I'd love to. B is the Miliband's and D is the Gallaghers.
Are A too young to be the Coen brothers? I don't know what they look like.
I don't know what they look like. And got no idea on A either. So which one do you want, B or D?
Do you reckon they're both better than C, won't they?
Yeah,
How about A, Coen brothers?
I have no idea.
OK, we'll go for A, Coen brothers.
You're going to say A, the Coen brothers. So we have the Bridges and we have the Coens. Rob and Kerry have gone with the Bridges brothers for C. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people said Bridges for C. It's right. Good answer, 19. Now then, Sandra and Bartholomew have said that A is the Coen brothers. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said that. It's right. And it wins the point. Very well done indeed, 11. Very well done, Bartholomew. You had the courage to stick to your point there, and very well done. After one question, it's 1-0 to you.
Yeah, very well played. How about that, Sandra?
Yeah, I'm impressed.
That's not bad going, is it? Of course, they directed True Grit, which starred Jeff Bridges. That's Jeff with Beau Bridges, his brother there. Very rarely a bad film with Jeff Bridges in it.
True.
You see him in a film, you think, oh, yeah, I'll stick with this.
Yeah.
B is the Miliband's, would have scored you 65 points. D, now it's the Gallagher brothers, but what do you think they scored?
I'm guessing that's a high score. That'll be in the late 80s.
Exactly in the late 80s, 88 that would have scored. Thrashing the Miliband's. And the last one, I'd be surprised if you knew it, they're the 2 longest-serving brothers ever in Congress. They are Sandy and Carl Levin, and that is a pointless answer. So if you did say that, presumably you're American and visiting, very, very well played.
Thanks very much indeed. So here is your second question. Sandra and Bartholomew, you will have to answer this one first. Kerry and Rob, you will have to win this one to stay in the game. So very, very best of luck. It concerns muddled Greeks. Muddled Greeks, Richard.
It's going to be anagrams of famous Greeks.
OK.
Essentially, we're going to give you 5, and if you give us the most obscure answer, you'll win the point.
OK, thank you very much indeed. Let's reveal our 5 famous Greeks, and here they are in anagram form. Coasters, Trophy Saga, Isle Trot, Oppose, and Dur Ethos. I'll read those one more time. Coasters, Trophy Saga, Isle Trot, Oppose, and Dur Ethos. As I say, Sandra and Bartholomew, you will go first this time.
What have you got anymore? No.
What's Oppose?
I don't know. I can't think of that name. We can only really work out 2, and we're going to go for the middle one, Aristotle.
OK, the middle one, Isle Trot, Aristotle. Now then, Kerry and Rob. Do you fancy talking us through the board and doing a little bit of thinking out loud?
Not really. We only knew 2, and that was one of them. So I think we have to go for the other one, unless you've worked something else out.
No.
We're going to have to go for the top one, which is Socrates.
OK, Socrates, say Kerry and Rob. So we have Aristotle, we have Socrates. Sandra and Bartholomew went Aristotle. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said it. It's right. 23. 23. Now, Kerry and Rob, you have said Socrates. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people said that. It's right. Now, for you to stay in the game, this has to go lower than 23. And it does. Very well done indeed. 14. Well done. You've broken back. It's exactly what you needed to do after 2 questions. It's 1-all.
Good answers from both teams there. The next biggest score is A Pose. Do you know that one? Author of Fables.
Oh, it's Aesop.
Aesop, yeah. Probably not a real person, Aesop, just a name given to anyone who wrote those types of stories at 17 points. Trophy Saga. Came up with a famous theory.
Pythagoras.
Pythagoras,
Good.
yeah, exactly. Would have scored you 9 points. His theory, of course, was if you take the batteries out of the remote control and put them back in, it'll start working again. That was his. That was Pythagoras' theory.
Well.
Yeah.
Oh.
Absolutely right. Proved time and again. And Dua Ethos.
No.
That's the best answer on the board. 1 point, Herodotus.
Ah.
Herodotus. Very well done if you said that.
Very good. Thanks very much indeed. OK, it all comes down to our third question. This is the decider. It's one apiece at the moment. Whoever wins this one goes through to the final and plays for that jackpot. Best of luck to both pairs. It concerns Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg. Richard.
Simply going to show you 5 clues about film director Steven Spielberg. We need you to give us the most obscure answer. Very best of luck, both teams.
OK, let's reveal our 5 clues, and here they come. We have got the World War II movie starring Tom Hanks, for which Spielberg won a Best Director Oscar. His middle name, the actress who played Tinkerbell in Spielberg's 1991 movie Hook, the writer whose novel was adapted for Spielberg's 1993 film Jurassic Park, and his 1975 film featuring a great white shark. I'll read those one last time. The World War II movie starring Tom Hanks, for which Spielberg won a Best Director Oscar. His middle name, the actress who played Tinkerbell in Spielberg's 1991 movie Hook. The writer whose novel was adapted for Spielberg's 1993 film Jurassic Park. And his 1975 film featuring a great white shark. There we are, 5 clues to facts about Spielberg. Kerry and Rob, you will go first.
I don't know his middle name. The World War II movie must be Saving Private Ryan. The actress who played her was that Julia Roberts. The guy who wrote, I think probably Julia Roberts. Yeah.
We are gonna go for the actress who played Tinkerbell in Hook, which was Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts, say Kerry and Rob. Julia Roberts. Now, Sandra and Bartholomew. Do you want to talk us through the board?
Oh, we can try, can't we? The top one then is Saving Private Ryan.
Bottom one, Jaws.
Bottom one, Jaws.
Yeah.
And don't know his middle name, but we're going to go for Michael Crichton, who was the writer.
OK, Michael Crichton, you're going to go for us. We have Julia Roberts and we have Michael Crichton. Rob and Kerry said Julia Roberts played Tinkerbell. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people said Julia Roberts. It's right. 29. 29 for Julia Roberts. Now, meanwhile, Bartholomew and Sandra have said Michael Crichton as the author who wrote the novel on which Jurassic Park was based. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said that. It's right. Now, if this goes down lower than 29, you will go through to the final. Yes, it does. Very well done. 19. Very well done indeed. Very well done, Sandra and Bartholomew. After 3 questions, you are through to the final 2-1.
Very well played. Let's fill in the rest of this board. A very, very big scorer at the bottom there. The 1975 film, of course, it was Jaws. 91 points for Jaws, 91 points. And at the top, another big score for Saving Private Ryan. Would have scored you 47. Now, the best answer on the board, which would have seen either team through to the jackpot round. Any idea? If I tell you that it's proof that everything in the universe is connected. The answer that would have seen anyone through to the final is... Alan.
What about that?
6 points.
What
How about
that? You...
Yeah, well, there it is. You know, it's not me. It's not me, it's the planets.
Oh, that's just beautiful.
Isn't it?
Thanks very much indeed. So the pair leaving us at the end of the head-to-head round are Kerry and Rob. Slightly against the grain of play, I have to say. You've been fantastic the whole way through the show. Brilliant low score after brilliant low score. And then, in the head-to-head, you came up against the immovable object that is Sandra and Bartholomew. So we say goodbye to you, but the good news is we get to see you again next time. We'll look forward to that very much indeed. Kerry and Rob, thanks so much for playing. But for Sandra and Bartholomew, it's now time for our pointless final. Congratulations, Sandra and Bartholomew. You've fought off all the competition and you've won our coveted pointless trophy.
Indeed.
You now have a chance to win our pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at £1,000. So, as always, you will choose your category for this final round. Anything you'd particularly like to see come up?
I'd like to see the Bronte sisters again, actually. That was quite handy.
Well, best of luck. Here are your options, 4 of them. You can choose from one of these. Artists in the Tate's collection, Oliver's, British gangster films, Belgium.
I'd go for one on the bottom too. What would you?
If you know anything about... I'd have gone for Oliver's, so...
Would you know any gangster films?
No.
None at all?
No.
Any Belgium?
No. But you don't know any Olivers. So it's Belgium or Olivers? Go on, which one?
Belgium.
Oh, that's a strong will there. OK, Bartholomew is going for Belgium. Richard, I never thought anyone was ever going to say
I thought Belgium was going to stay there forever. You've got 3 different options now. We are looking for the capital of any of Belgium's 10 provinces. We are looking for the name of any post-war Belgian Prime Minister. Or we are looking for any player in any squads for Belgium's qualifying for the 2014 World Cup. So any player who played in any of the qualifying games for the 2014 World Cup. So the capitals of the 10 provinces, post-war Prime Ministers, or any player in any squad for Belgium's qualifying campaign for the World Cup 2014. Very best of luck.
OK, now, as always, you've got up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers. And to win that jackpot of £1,000, only one of those answers needs to be pointless. Also, worth remembering that the answers you provide can come from any of these categories. How you spread them across the categories is entirely up to you. Okay. Are you ready?
As we'll ever be.
OK, well, let's put 60 seconds on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
I'm going footballers. So,
OK, you carry on.
Anderveld.
Yeah.
Anderveld. De Ridder,
right.
maybe.
Marvellous.
You can think of some provinces if you want.
No.
And I'm going to say Safari.
OK. Any of those sound good to me. I have no idea on any of those.
OK. Apart from that, I know all the obvious ones. But,
yeah, there's quite a lot of obvious ones, obviously.
Christian Benteke. Christian Benteke. No, I think that might be my Anderveld. De Ridder.
Yeah. Whatever you decide, I've got no idea.
Maybe someone else.
I can't think of any.
OK, no, Thibaut Courtois as well. OK.
OK, you've got your answers.
Yeah.
You don't need any more time.
No,
we'll stop the clock. What are those answers going to be?
Thibaut Courtois.
Thibaut Courtois.
Yeah. Safari.
Safari.
Yep. And Anderveld.
Anderveld.
Yeah.
I'll need Anderveld's first name.
Gregory.
Gregory.
I don't even know.
You don't know.
No.
So you've got for Gregory.
It rings a bell.
OK, it might be. Gregory. Of those 3, which is your best shot at a pointless?
Safari.
Safari will put last. Which is your least likely?
Courtois.
Courtois will put first. OK, let's pop those answers up on the board, and here they are in that order. Thibaut Courtois, Gregory Anderveld, and Safari. Well, very best of luck. Your first answer was Thibaut Courtois. Now, this was the one you thought was probably least likely to be pointless. What if this were to be pointless and you won that £1,000? Sandra, what would you do with your share of that?
My share of that, I would use it towards a holiday next year. It's our 25th wedding anniversary, so we're going away and it will go towards that.
Bartholomew?
I'm doing a trek of Everest Base Camp next year, so I need to pay some expenses there. So
wow,
yeah,
well done you.
Good.
Well, best of luck. 3 answers on the board. Let's hope at least one of those is pointless. So your first answer, as I said, Thibaut Courtois. All the answers you've given are players who are in the Belgian squad for any of their qualifying matches for the 2014 World Cup finals. OK, Thibaut Courtois, let's see if that's right. If it's right and it is pointless, you will win £1,000. Let's find out. How many people said Thibaut Courtois? It's right. That was the first thing it had to be. Now, the next thing it has to do is go down to 0. If it does that, you will leave with £1,000 between you. Going down into single figures. It's getting exciting. Down it goes. Still going down. Oh, 1. Good answer. Very good answer. Well, this all bodes very well for your 2 subsequent answers. Let's hope at least one of those is pointless. 2 more chances to win the jackpot. Your next answer was Gregory Anderveld. Anderveld. Again, it has to be correct, then it has to be pointless for you to win that jackpot of £1,000. So let's find out how many people said Gregory Anderveld. No, bad luck. Bad luck. An incorrect answer, as it turns out. So everything is now riding on your third and final answer. The answer that you thought was probably your best shot at a pointless answer. Safari. OK, let's find out. For £1,000, how many people said Safari was a player in any of the Belgian squads in any of their qualifying games for the 2014 World Cup? Good luck. Oh, no, bad luck. Oh, bad luck to have one on your first answer. I'm really sorry. 2 incorrect answers there. Richard will tell us shortly why they're incorrect, but unfortunately you didn't manage to find that all-important pointless answer, which means you don't win today's jackpot of £1,000. That will roll over onto the next show, but we've really enjoyed having you on the show, and you've done so well throughout and consistently. And, of course, you get to take home a pointless trophy, so very well done.
Yeah, that's very unlucky. Yeah, 1 point for Courtois. There must be like one mad keen Chelsea fan amongst our 100, I'm afraid. Now, you gave the name Anderveld, and it was so close to two. There's 2 footballers who share similar names, but not quite the same. There's Gregory van der Velde of the Netherlands, and there's Toby Alderweireld.
That's what I meant.
Who is Belgian and would have been a pointless answer as well. You'll kick yourself more when you see some of the pointless answers on that category. You won't kick yourself too much on the pointless answer of the first 2 categories, though. Very well done to anyone at home who got these. The capitals of Belgium's 10 provinces, Arlon, Hasselt and Wavre. All of those would have been pointless. Very well done if you said any of those. Post-war Belgian prime ministers. Can't believe you didn't get any of these guys. Achiel van Acker, Gaston Eyskens. If you're going to get any, you might have got Guy Verhofstadt at home, because he was Prime Minister from like 99 to 2008, something like that. And Paul van den Boynants. And let's take a look at these footballers, because there's names you'll know up here. Jan Vertonghen was a pointless answer. Kevin Mirallas was a pointless answer. Moussa Dembele, who we still love at Fulham very much, who was a pointless answer. There's Toby Alderweireld as well. You could also have had Axel Witsel, you could have had Daniel van Buiten, you could have had Dries Martens, you could have had Jelle van Dam, who Southampton fans will remember, or Steven Defoe. So there were plenty of well-known players out there. That's really, really unlucky, but very well played throughout. It's been great fun as well. And Bering Safari, your third answer, he plays for Sweden. Unfortunately. He's Iranian-born, plays for Sweden. So you were very unlucky for 3 different reasons there, I would say.
Oh, bad luck. Well, unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to you. It's been brilliant having you on the show. Thank you both so much for playing. Sandra and Bartholomew, great contestants. Well, Sandra and Bartholomew didn't win our jackpot today, which means it rolls over. So on the next show, we will be playing for £2,000. Join us next time, see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.